Even though our faith is the anchor, it don't make the water that it's in pretty. Okay? That's it. I ain't gonna say nothing else. Y'all go listen to that new, bye.
All right, welcome to the Church Dropout channel. This is another edition of It Is What It Is. My name is Alan. I'm the host. If you have not already, please like and subscribe. Please drop a comment below. Keep the conversation moving forward. So Kirk Franklin, as usual, is back in the news, at least in the news cycle in the Christian community. He's mad. He's very upset. And he expressed that on his Instagram, and it's gone around, as you seen here. And I want to talk about one thing that people are missing when you look at this video. There's something that no one is talking about, and I'll get to that at the end. But I do want to say a few things before I get to that point about the things that Kirk Franklin said. Now, first, this whole thing was a diversion from the issue. From my understanding, what Kirk Franklin is dealing with here is all the backlash that he got from doing a song with Glorilla, and who is a secular artist who, just look her up if you're just look her up. But anyway, he's really talking about the backlash that he's getting from the song that he did with Glorilla, and he's using the issues with Christianity in terms of how the world perceives Christians, the issues that reside or exist within the Christian community. He's using the pain and suffering of people in Florida. All of this he's using as a diversion. It's a diversion to, from what the real issue is. Instead of addressing the issue, he's diverting. He's trying to point you in a different direction and say that, the real issue is not, me working with another artist and what that artist represents versus what I represent. The real issue is you Christians are focusing on the wrong thing, right? It's a diversion, right? And so, he's avoiding the conversation, right? He's avoiding what the real issue is, right? And that's been pointed out over and over again. So we don't even need to go into that. But this is a diversion. The second thing I want to talk about is he's gaslighting. He's gaslighting Christians. He's gaslighting Christians, right? He's trying to make you feel bad for how you feel about the things that he's doing, or the things that he's done by guilting you about your focus being in the wrong place. You worried about me. This is what he's saying. You're worried about me and what I'm doing when there's people who are suffering, as if Christians who are concerned with what Kirk Franklin does are not concerned with the suffering that's happening in the world. And I take offense to that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's gas. Listen, are you telling me that because I'm concerned with behavior that, your behavior and the things that you're doing on a public stage representing Jesus, and you're saying that I'm wrong for saying something about that, and I should be guilty because I'm not focusing on the problems in the world? That's gaslighting. And this is a tactic that celebrities use all the time. All the time. And and we shouldn't get caught up in that. We shouldn't get caught up in that. It's a diversion and it's gaslighting. Now, let me get to, because I don't want this to be a long video, but let me get to the issue that or the thing that I think everyone is missing. At the end of the video, I don't know if you caught it, but at the end of the video, he says, I forgot how he said it, but I'll play it.
I ain't gonna say nothing else. Y'all go listen to that new, bye.
Okay, so that's what he says, right? Go and listen to, and then he cuts it off intentionally. And he has this little smirk at the end of the video. And this is what I think people are missing here. And this is what people are missing here. Listen, this is all marketing. This is all marketing. This is all marketing and promotion for him. You know, the reason why he got on and he had these words is because he knows that people are going to talk about him. And in that realm, all publicity is good publicity. And he knows that that's going to keep his name in the algorithm. He knows that's going to keep his name there. And it's actually going to further promote, because it's going to do two things. One, it's going to push the people who support him to support him more, because they're on his side. So they're going to support him more because he's being persecuted and he's facing opposition, which ultimately results in the marketing of what he's actually doing. Right. And so controversy sells, and he knows this. He knows this. You cannot tell me that Kirk Franklin does not have an idea of what he's doing. He's a very smart man. He knows exactly what he's doing. And so this is all a tactic. To be honest with you, he's trolling the Christian community. And when are we going to learn? He's trolling us. He's using us. He knows that we can't help but say certain things. He's trolling. He knows that we're going to bite and we're going to talk about these things. And all it does is give him the promotion that he needs. And when he does this little smirk at the end, you see it. All of this, I'm pissed off, I'm angry, I'm mad, all of this type stuff ends with this smirk at the end, telling you to go listen to what the real issue is. It's marketing. And that's what we don't get. We're being used. At some point, we got to understand, like, now I get sometimes these things need to be called out, right? But there's a whole industry of calling things out, especially on the YouTube space. Like, it's a whole industry, right? Of calling things out, right? And that industry, honestly, is being used. Like all of these people that we talk about on YouTube in terms of like this, the call out perspective, they're not afraid of that. They don't care about that. It's publicity for them. You're actually making them bigger. You're making them bigger. And let me say this, because I don't think we are paying attention to this. The problem is not with the celebrity or the false teacher. They're not the problem. They're not the problem. The problem is the people who are following and supporting them. A celebrity is not a celebrity without anybody idolizing them, making them a celebrity. Listen, do you honestly believe? Listen, Kirk Franklin has been towing the line. I don't want to say towing the line. I don't even know if that's the proper way. But anyway, he's been straddling the line for a long time, just with the things that he's been doing. And it has not stopped his support. Do we honestly believe that Kirk Franklin is in fear of his support falling? No, because people are going to support him regardless. And he knows that. At some point, we got to realize that the problem is not Kirk Franklin. The problem is the people who are following him. Right. And let me say this. Let me say this. This is just what I've learned in terms of, counseling people and leading and all of this type of stuff. This is something that I've learned, right? Because we have a habit of doing this in the Christian community. We talk a lot about the symptoms. We address the symptoms, right? It's like whack-a-mole. That's what we do in the Christian community, right? A sin pops up, we whack it. A sin pops up, we whack it. And we treat people that way. We don't counsel people in the proper way, right? We just look at all of the symptoms and we just keep whacking them down. Up there's a sin, whack it down. Up there's a sin, whack it down. That's all we're doing. We're playing like, spiritual whack-a-mole, right? This is what we're doing. We manage symptoms. And this is the problem, especially when it relates to this type of stuff. You can pry someone's hands off of an idol. But realize this. If you pry someone's hands off of an idol and you don't do anything about their identity, they just place their hands on another idol. Because you're not hitting the root, it's just a symptom. You understand what I'm saying? So let me give you another example just in terms of like medical. Like, you can have a headache and so there's multiple ways to deal with that. You can go get a CAT scan or you could take an aspirin. right? And the aspirin might take care of the headache, but it's not going to take care of the root. What is actually causing the headache? And see, and that's where the problem is that we are tearing down idols in people's lives, but we're not replacing it with Jesus. And then people are just finding other idols. The issue with idolatry is identity. Until we stop realizing that the issue is not the celebrity, it's the people following them. And then what is it about the people that are following them that is off? It's not just because they don't know the Bible. All of that stuff is true. It's real. I'm not saying it's not true, but there's some other things that are there that need to be addressed. And at the root of all of that false worship is identity, right? And so anyway, I'm just saying this, like, we gotta realize, like, listen, 1, he's trolling. 2, he's diverting from the actual issue itself. 3, he's gaslighting. He's gaslighting us. And then 4, again, this is all marketing and promoting for him. The more his name is out there, the more he gets. And when are we going to realize that we're just helping him? And in some cases, I think we're helping these false teachers that we're talking about. Right? We're not really, are we really, let me put it that way, having the impact that we think we're having by consistently calling these things out? Or are we actually feeding the monster? Right? Kirk Franklin knows exactly what he's doing, and it's apparent. You look at this video, you look at the end, you look at how it ended. He's telling you exactly what he's doing. And at some point, we got to quit falling for it. So anyway, those are just my thoughts looking at this. Hey, as always, like and subscribe wherever you're listening. Drop a comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts on this, on anything that was said. That's it. Thank you for tuning in to Church Dropout. Another episode of It Is What It Is. Talk to you soon. God bless.